Hello students, today I am here to discuss Rajasthan HTSC Maths question paper which was held on 24th November 2019. In Maths there were total 20 questions, out of which the question number first is, what will be the cube root of perfect cube number 105823817? We have given here a 9-digit number and we have to find its cube root. That is, we have to find prime factorization of this number. So the given number is 105823817. As the given number is an odd number, so this number is not divisible by 2. We will check the divisibility by prime numbers. Then by 3 it is again not divisible, and this number is not ending with 0 or 5. So also this number is not divisible by 5. Next, when we check its divisibility by 7, then this number is also not divisible by 7. At last, when we check its divisibility by 11, then this number is divisible by 11, and when we divide this number by 11, we get 9620347. Again, this number is divisible by 11, and when we divide this number by 11, we get 874577. Again, this number is divisible by 11, so we get 79507. Now, this number is divisible by 43. So, when we divide this number by 43, we get 1849, and this number is again divisible by 43, so we get 43. So, the prime factorization of this number 105823817 is, we can write it as 11 into 11 into 11, that is 11 cube, and 43 into 43 into 43, that is 43 cube. That is, the cube root of given number 105823817 whole cube root, that will be equals to cube root of 11 cube multiplied by 43 cube. That is, we can write it as 11 into 43, that is equals to 473. So option number second is the correct answer. Question number second is, if alpha and beta are the zeros of the quadratic polynomial x square plus px plus q, then what will be the value of alpha minus beta? हमें alpha minus beta की value find करनी है, and given quadratic polynomial is x square plus px plus q. Alright, so we know that if alpha and beta are the zeros of this quadratic polynomial, then sum of roots or sum of zeros alpha plus beta is minus b by a. That is, in this case, sum of roots will be minus of p. Alright, and the product of roots alpha beta will be equals to c upon a. That is, in this case, it is q upon 1, that is q. Alright, we have to find the value of alpha minus beta. Now, using identity, we can write alpha minus beta equals to alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta whole square root. Now, substituting the value of alpha plus beta, that is minus p, and alpha beta q, we will get our answer. So, alpha plus beta is minus p, so minus p square minus 4 alpha beta, and alpha beta is q, whole square root. This is alpha minus beta, and finally we get p square minus 4q whole square root. So we get option number 4 is the correct answer. So option number 4 is the correct answer. Alright. Question number third is, if a polynomial fx equals to x cube minus 6x square plus 10x plus b, where b is a constant, is divided by x plus 2, the remainder is minus 55. So given is when the polynomial fx is divided by x plus 2, the remainder is minus 55. What will be the value of b? We have to find the value of b. So given polynomial is fx equals to x cube minus 6x square plus 10x plus b. Alright, and this polynomial is divided by the linear polynomial x plus 2. We divided this polynomial by x plus 2 and we have to find the remainder. So the remainder will be, remainder क्या होगा इस केस में? Remainder is f of minus 2 and given the remainder is minus 55. So f of minus 55 is, sorry, f of minus 2 is minus 55. Now substituting the value of x as minus 2, so we get minus 2 cube minus 6 into minus 2 square plus 10 into minus 2 plus b, that will be equals to minus 55. On simplify, minus 2 cube is minus 8, minus 2 square that is 4, 4 into minus 6 that is minus 24, minus 20 plus b that is minus 55. So we get minus 24 minus 32 minus 52, minus 52 plus b, that will be equals to minus 55. So from here b equals to minus 55 plus 52, that is minus 3, and we have to find the value of b, that is minus 3. So option number 3 is correct answer. Option number 3 is the correct answer. Next question is, square root of 1 plus 25 upon 144 equals to 1 plus x upon 12. Then what will be the value of x? This question is very easy. We can easily solve this. So we have given 1 plus 25 upon 144 whole square root, that is equals to 1 plus x upon 12. 1 plus x upon 12. Now here what we will do? We will take LCM here. So this will be 144 plus 25 upon 144 whole square root, that is equals to 1 plus x upon 12. And finally we get 144 plus 25, that is 169 divided by 144 whole square root equals to 1 plus x upon 12. Now we know that 169 is 13 square and 144 is 12 square. So this number is written as 13 upon 12. Square root of 169 13 and square root of 144, that is 12. So 13 upon 12 will be equals to 1 plus x upon 12. From here we can write x upon 12 will be equals to 13 upon 12 minus 1. Okay. So on taking LCM we get 13 minus 12 upon 12, that is 1 upon 12. So x upon 12 will be equals to 1 upon 12. So from here we can write x equals to 1 because both these 12s are cancelled. So we get x equals to 1. So option number 1 is the right answer. Next question is, if n is an even natural number, then the product n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 will be divisible by, options are 24, 15, 7 and 0. So the given product is n multiplied by n plus 1 into n plus 2, and where n is an even natural number. So what we will do? We will put the smallest even natural number. Smallest even natural number is 2. So we will put n equals to 2. So we get 2 into 2 plus 1 into 2 plus 2, that is 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4, that is 24. So we can say that n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 is divisible by 24. So option number 1 is correct answer. Option number 1 is correct answer. Next question is, in the given figure, if AC equals to AE, AB is parallel to CD and angle BAC equals to 84 degree and angle ADC equals to 40 degree, then the value of angle AEC. We have to find the value of angle AEC. Now first of all we have given that line AB is parallel to CD. Line AB is parallel to CD. So we can say that angle BAD will be equals to angle CDA. angle CDA, that is 40 degree. The reason is alternate interior angles. Reason is alternate interior angles. Okay. Next, line AC is parallel to line segment AE. AC equals to AE, which is given. Okay, this is given. So we can say that angle ACE will be equals to angle AEC. Now angle CAE will be 84 degree minus angle DAB or BAD, this angle, that is 40 degree. So angle CAE will be 84 minus 40, that is 44 degree. Now in triangle ACE, we can write angle CAD or angle CAE plus angle AEC plus angle ACE, that is equals to 180 degree. Angle sum property of triangle. Okay, the sum of three angles is 180. Now angle CAE is 44 degree, so this is 44 degree plus angle AEC equals to angle ACE from equation first. This is equation number first. So from equation number first we can write angle AEC plus angle ACE is 2 times of angle AEC. 2 times of angle AEC, that will be equals to 180 degree. So 2 times of angle AEC will be equals to 180 minus 44, that will be 136 degree. Okay, so angle AEC will be 136 divided by 2, that is 68 degree. So we get the value of angle AEC as 68 degree, which is option number 3rd. So option number 3rd is the correct answer. Next question is, in the given figure, two circles are shown with diameters AB and AC, where AB equals to 7 cm and BC equals to 2.8 cm. Which one out of the given options represents the area of the shaded region? That is, we have to find the area of the shaded region. Now given is diameter of a smaller circle, that is 7 cm. Diameter of a smaller circle, which is AB, that is given 7 cm. So we can write the radius R1 of this circle will be 7 upon 2, that is 3.5 cm. So we can write the area of a smaller circle. Area of a smaller circle will be pi r square, that is pi r1 square, and that is equals to pi into 3.5 square. This is the area of a smaller circle. Now the diameter of the larger circle, that is AC, it will be 7 plus 2.8. 7 plus 2.8, that is 9.8 centimeter. This is the diameter of the larger circle. So the radius of the larger circle will be R2. Let's say it is R2, and R2 will be 9.8 divided by 2, that is 4.9 centimeter. This is the radius of the larger circle. So its area of larger circle will be pi r2 square, pi into r2 square, that is pi multiply by 4.9 square, pi multiply by 4.9 square. Let's say this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2, and we have to find the area of the shaded region. So area of shaded region that will be equals to area of larger circle minus area of smaller circle. Area of larger circle minus area of smaller circle. So area of larger circle is pi into my 4.9 square. So that will be equals to pi multiply by 4.9 square minus area of smaller circle, that is pi into my 3.5 square. Pi multiply by 3.5 square. So here we will take pi as common. So pi into my 4.9 square minus 3.5 square. So option number second is the correct answer. Option number second is correct answer. Next question is, if equations 2x plus 3y equals to 13 and 4x minus ky equals to 4 are representing two parallel lines, then what will be the value of k? So the given equations are 2x plus 3y equals to 13, 2x plus 3y equals to 13, and the second equation is 4x minus ky equals to 4, 4x minus ky equals to 4. So we know that the condition of two lines to be parallel is a1 upon a2 equals to b1 upon b2 not equals to c1 upon c2, where a1 is the coefficient of x, b1 is the coefficient of y, and c1 is the constant term. Alright, so a1 is 2 and a2 is 4. So we can write 2 upon 4, that will be equals to b1 upon b2, that is 3 upon minus k. 3 upon minus k, and not equals to c1 upon c2, that is constant 13 upon 4. So from this equation we can write minus 2k will be equals to 4 into 3, that is 12. So k will be equals to minus 12 by 2. So from here we can write k equals to minus 6. So on checking options we get fourth option is the correct answer. Alright, here the next question is, in the given diagram what is the sum of angle A plus angle B, C, D and E? We have given a 5 pointed star here and we have to find the values of sum of the values of all the angles. So firstly we will draw figure. So this is our 5 pointed star. Alright, so this point is A, this is point B, C, D and E. We have to find the sum of angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D and angle E. Now let us suppose this point is P and this point is Q, and this angle is angle X, this is angle Y. Alright, so we can say that angle X is the exterior angle of angle P of triangle PBE. Angle X is the exterior angle of triangle PBE. So we know that exterior angle is equal to sum of interior opposite angles. So we can say that angle X is equals to angle B plus angle E. Angle X is equals to angle B plus angle E. This is equation number first. What is the reason here? Reason is exterior angle is equal to sum of interior opposite angles. Exterior angle is equal to sum of interior opposite angles. Sum of interior opposite angles. Similarly, angle Y is exterior angle of triangle CAQ. Angle Y is the exterior angle of triangle CAQ. So we can write angle Y is equals to angle C plus angle A. Alright, so we can write angle Y is equals to angle C plus angle A. This is equation number 2. Now in triangle DPQ, we can write angle D plus angle X plus angle Y equals to 180 degree. Why 180? Angle sum property of triangle. Alright. So angle D plus angle X. What is angle X? Angle X is angle B plus angle E. So we can write angle B plus angle E. And what is angle Y here? Angle C plus angle A. Angle C plus angle A. That is equals to 180 degree. So on arranging these angles, we get angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D plus angle E is 180 degree. So this is our answer. Option number 2 is the correct answer. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is, if sec theta plus tan theta equals to P, then what is the value of sec theta? We have to find the value of sec theta. And we have given here sec theta plus tan theta, which is equals to P. Alright. First what we will do, we will find the value of sec theta minus tan theta. Sec theta minus tan theta. So we can write sec theta minus tan theta, multiply and divide this sec theta minus tan theta by sec theta plus tan theta, multiply this number by sec theta plus tan theta and dividing this number by sec theta plus tan theta. What we will get? We get the numerator is a minus b into a plus b form, that is a square minus b square. So we can write sec square theta minus tan square theta divided by sec theta plus tan theta. Sec theta plus tan theta. We know that sec square theta minus tan square theta is 1. So we can write here 1 upon sec theta plus tan theta, which is given as P. So this is 1 upon P. So we have sec theta plus tan theta equals to P. This is equation number 1. And sec theta minus tan theta is 1 upon P, which is equation number 2. On adding equation 1st and 2nd, tan theta got cancelled and we will get the value of sec theta. So on adding equations 1st and 2nd, we get 2 sec theta will be equals to P plus 1 upon P. P plus 1 upon P. So on taking LCM, this is P square plus 1 upon P. So sec theta will be equals to P square plus 1 divided by 2P. So option number 3rd is the correct answer. Option number 3rd is the correct answer. Next question is, in a group of cows and buffaloes, the number of cows are double than the number of buffaloes. 10 more cows and 10 more buffaloes came and mixed with the group. How does this affect the probability of selecting a cow at random from the group newly formed? The given options are probability will increase, probability will not change, probability will decrease, and none of these. So we have to find the probability in both the cases. So first of all, let the number of buffaloes are X. Let the number of buffaloes be X. So according to the question, the cows are double than the number of buffaloes. So the number of cows in this case will be 2x. And sum of cows and buffaloes here is, sum of cows and buffaloes here is 2x plus x, that is 3x. So in this case, the probability of selecting a cow at random will be, let's say it is P of C, that will be equals to number of cows 2x and a total of sum of cows and buffaloes, that is 3x. So the probability of selecting cow will be 2 upon 3. Let's say this is equation number 1. Now in the second case, 10 more cows and 10 more buffaloes came. So in second case, number of cows will be 2x plus 10. We can say this is case number 2 and this is situation number first. Okay, so in second case number of cows will be 2x plus 10 and number of buffaloes, that will be x plus 10. So sum of cows and buffaloes, that will be 2x plus x, 3x plus 20, 3x plus 20. Now in this case the probability of selecting a cow at random will be, let's say it is p dash, so p dash c will be equals to number of cows, that is 2x plus 10 divided by sum of cows and buffaloes, that is 3x plus 20. So we can rewrite this expression as 2 by 3 of 3x plus 20 minus 10 by 3 divided by 3x plus 20. On solving this expression we will get this expression. Alright, so this is equals to 2 by 3 of 3x plus 20 divided by 3x plus 20 minus 10 by 3 multiply by 3x plus 20. So here 3x plus 20 cancels 3x plus 20, so we get 2 by 3 minus 10 by 3 into में 3x plus 20. This is equation number second. So on comparing equation number first and equation number second, we can clearly conclude that the probability at second case will be less, as the number is 2 by 3 minus some quantity, that is number is less than 2 by 3 and that number is 2 by 3. So relatively the second probability is less, so we can say the probability will decrease here. So option number third is the right answer. Option number 3 is the correct answer. Now in the next question it is given that triangle POQ is a right angle triangle in which angle POQ equals to 90 degree and OR is perpendicular to PQ. Also length of OP is 20 centimeter and the length OQ is 15 centimeter. We have to find the length OR. Alright, so first of all triangle POQ is a right angle triangle, so we can apply Pythagoras theorem. So according to the Pythagoras theorem we can write PQ square is equals to OP square plus OQ square. So PQ square will be OP square, that is 20 square, plus OQ square, that is 15 square, that will be equals to 625. 400 plus 225, that is 625. So PQ will be 25 centimeter. Now we can clearly see that triangle QOP is similar to triangle QRO. Triangle QOP is similar to triangle QRO. So from here we can write that OQ upon QR, that will be equals to OP upon OR, that will be equals to PQ upon OQ, PQ upon OQ. Now OQ upon OR, that is OQ is 15 and QR, that is we don't know this, so write it as QR. OP upon OR, OP is 20 and OR we have to find the length OR. PQ, PQ is 25 and length OQ is 15. So we have to find the length OR. We can easily find the length OR from this equation. So from here we can write 20 upon OR will be equals to 25 upon 15, cancel by 5, 5 5 is 25, 5 3 is 15. So length OR will be 3 by 5 into 20, 3 by 5 multiply by 20, 5 fourths are 20, so it is 4 is 12 centimeter. So length OR is 12 centimeter. That is option number first is the correct answer. Next question is, if the length of a rectangle is increased by 50%, by what percent would the width have to be decreased so that the area of the rectangle does not change? Alright, so first of all, let us suppose the length of the rectangle is L. Let the original length of the rectangle be L units and width of the rectangle is B. So in this case, the area of rectangle will be L into B. L into B. This is equation number first. Now in the second case, new length is increased by 50%. The length is increased by 50%. So we can say that the new length will be 1.5 L. And let's say new width is B dash. In the first case, the width is B, and in the second case, the width is B dash. And according to the question, area in both the cases are same, and in that case, the area is A dash, which is 1.5 L into B dash. According to the question, these two areas are same. That is equation 1 equals to equation 2. So we can write L into B, that will be equals to 1.5 L into B dash. So from here we get B dash equals to B upon 1.5. Now we have to find the decrease in percentage of the width. So percent change in width or decrease in width will be equals to B minus B upon 1.5 divided by B multiplied by 100. On simplifying this, we get 0.5B upon 1.5B multiplied by 100, that is 1 by 3 into 100, that is 33 1 by 3%. So decrease in the width is 33 1 by 3%, that is option number 4 is the correct answer. Next question is, if the lengths of diagonals of a rhombus are 18 cm and 24 cm, then we have to find the perimeter of rhombus. So first of all, we will draw a rhombus. Let's say this is a rhombus ABCD, and AC and BD are its diagonals whose lengths are given. The length AC of the diagonal is 24 cm. So the length OA will be 12 cm as the diagonals of rhombus are perpendicular bisector to each other. So this angle will be 90. Again, diagonal BD is 18 cm. So the length OB is 9 cm. Now triangle AOB is a right angle triangle. So we can apply Pythagoras theorem here. So we can write in triangle AOB, AB square equals to OA square plus OB square. Again, AB square equals to OA square, that is 12 square, plus OB square, that is 9 square. So AB square will be 144 plus 81, that is 225. So length AB will be square root of 225, that is 15 centimeter. So the length of AB is 15 centimeter, and we have to find the perimeter of rhombus. So perimeter of rhombus is we know that all sides of a rhombus are equal to each other. So we can say the perimeter is 4 times of AB, that is 4 into 15. 15 into 4, 60 centimeter. So the perimeter of the rhombus is 60 centimeter, which is option number 3rd. So this is our correct answer. Next question is, in the given figure, PQ is a tangent of a circle whose center is O, which touches the circle at point R. If angle TRQ equals to 40 degree, then the measure of angle RTO. We have to find the angle RTO. Now we can clearly see that we can apply alternate segment theorem here. So we can write angle QRT will be equals to angle RST by alternate segment theorem. So angle QRT is 40 degree. So we can write angle RST will also be 40 degree. This is equation number first. Now ST is the diameter here. ST is diameter. So we can write angle SRT will be 90. Angle SRT will be equals to 90 degree. Reason is angle in the semicircle is a right angle. Angle in a semicircle is a right angle. Alright, now in triangle RST, we can write angle RST plus angle SRT plus angle RTO or RTS, that will be 180 degree. Angle sum property of a triangle. Now angle RST is 40 degree. Angle SRT is 90 degree. And we have to find angle RTS, which can also be written as angle RTO, that is 180 degree. So angle RTO will be 180 minus 90 plus 40, that is 130. So that is equals to 50 degree. So angle RTO is 50 degree, which is the required answer. So option number second is correct. Option number second is correct answer. Next question is sin square theta plus sin theta equals to 1. Then what will be the value of cos theta raised to power 8 plus 2 cos theta raised to power 6 plus cos theta raised to power 4. Now we have given here sin square theta plus sin theta equals to 1. Sin square theta plus sin theta is 1. Now we can conclude from here that sin theta is equals to 1 minus sin square theta. Now we know that 1 minus sin square theta is cos square theta. So we can write sin theta is equals to cos square theta, or we can also write that sin square theta is equals to cos raised to power 4 theta. Alright. Now we have to find the value of cos theta raised to power 8. Cos theta raised to power 8 plus 2 cos theta raised to power 6 plus cos raised to power 4 theta. We can write this expression as cos raised to power 4 theta whole square plus 2 cos raised to power 4 theta into cos square theta plus cos square theta whole square. Now we can apply identity here, a square plus b square plus 2ab, that is a plus b whole square. So we can write this expression as cos raised to power 4 theta plus cos square theta whole square. Now we have to find the value of this expression. Now from equation first we can write cos raised to power 4 theta equals to sin square theta. So we can write it cos raised to power 4 theta is sin square theta plus cos square theta whole square. Now we know that sin square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1. So finally we get 1 square, that is 1. So option number third is correct answer. Option number third is correct answer. Next question is, which term of the AP will be the first negative term. We have given here an AP and we have to find the term which is the first negative term of this AP, and the given options are 35, 34, 36 and 37. So how to solve this AP? First of all, given AP is 20, 19 2 by 5, 18 4 by 5 and so on. So clearly we can see here that the given AP is a decreasing AP. Given AP is a decreasing AP. So first of all we find the common difference D, that will be equals to 19 2 by 5 minus 20. So that is equals to 97 upon 5 minus 20, that is minus 3 by 5. So this is the common difference of this given AP. Now we have to find which term of the AP is the first negative term. To find the first negative term, what we will do? We will find n for which its nth term becomes 0. We will find n for which its nth term becomes 0, that is Tn equals to 0. Now we know that Tn equals to a plus n minus 1d, that will be equals to 0, where a is the first term and d is the common difference, and first term is 20. So 20 plus n minus 1 into common difference, that is minus 3 upon 5, we have find it here, that will be equals to 0. Now in solving this we get 3 by 5 into में n minus 1, that will be equals to 20. Finally we get n minus 1 equals to 100 by 3, that is 33.33. So n will be equals to 33.33 plus 1, that is 34.33. Now for n equals to 34.33, its nth term becomes 0, that is its first negative term will be an integer just greater than this number. So n equals to 35. This is the first negative term of the given AP. Hence the option number first is correct answer. The next question is, if an equilateral triangle whose two of the vertices are 0, 0 and 2a, 0, then what will be the coordinates of its third vertex which is in the first quadrant? That is, we have given 2 points, 2 vertices of an equilateral triangle, and we have to find its third vertex which is in the first quadrant. So to find this, first we will plot these points on a rectangular Cartesian coordinate plane, that is, let us suppose this is y-axis and this is x-axis. So given points are 0, 0 and 2a, 0. So let us suppose this will be the origin 0, 0 and this is point A, that is 2a, 0. Now the midpoint of OA will be a, 0. Let's suppose this is point P. This point is point P. Now we have to find third vertex of an equilateral triangle which is in the first quadrant. So we can take this point as B, whose x coordinate will be point A, as it is an equilateral triangle. So we can draw perpendicular here, and equilateral triangle will be OBA or OAB. This is our equilateral triangle and we have to find the vertices of point B or coordinates of point B, that is x coordinate will be point A, the x coordinate of point B will be A. Now we have to find its y coordinate. Let us suppose this is y. Alright, when this point is y, then the length BP will be y. Alright, and this AP will be 2a minus a, that is A, and the side length of the equilateral triangle is OA, that is 2a. So length is 2a, so that length AB will also be 2a. Alright, now we can apply Pythagoras theorem in triangle BAP. So in triangle BAP, we can write AB square will be equals to BP square plus AP square, PB square plus PA square So AB square is 2A square. So 2A whole square, that will be equals to PB square, that is Y square. We need to find that Y, plus PA square, that is A square. So from here we can write 4A square will be equals to Y square plus A square. So Y square will be 4A square minus A square, that is 3A square. So Y will be root 3A. Hence the coordinates of point B are, A comma root 3A, which is option number 4th. So option 4th is the correct answer. Next question is, if the radius of a circular wheel is 7 by 4 meter, then the number of revolutions after traveling 11 kilometer distance will be. Given options are 1000, 1100, 1200 and 1300. So let the number of revolutions are n. Let number of revolutions of circular wheel be n. So total distance traveled by the wheel will be n into its circumference. So total distance traveled by wheel will be n into its circumference. And we know the circumference of a circular wheel is 2 pi r, that is we can write it as n into 2 pi r. Substituting the values, n into 2 into pi is given as 22 by 7 into radius, which is 7 by 4 meter. 7 by 4 meter. Now this distance travelled is equal to 11 kilometer. So we can write n into 2 pi r, that is 11 kilometer, or it's 11 into 1000 meter, because 7 by 4 is in meter, so we will convert this kilometer into meter, that is 11,000 meter. So we have to find n, that n will be equals to 11,000 multiplied by 7 into 4 divided by 2 into 22 into 7. 2 into 22 into 7. 7 cancel out, 11 2 times, 11 1 time, then 2 to the 4, this cancel out, finally we get 1000. So n equals to 1000, which is option number first. So option first is the correct answer. The next question is, if x plus y equals to 90 degree, then the value of cos square x plus cos square y minus 5 will be. We have given x plus y equals to 90 degree. So we can write from here that y is equals to 90 minus x. So this is equation number first. Now we have to find the value of cos square x plus cos square y minus 5. Cos square x plus cos square y minus 5. So we can write cos square x plus cos square y, that is we can substitute y by 90 minus x. So we can write cos square 90 minus x minus 5. So we can write it as cos square x plus, we know that cos 90 minus theta is sin theta. So cos 90 minus x will be sin x. So we can write this expression as sin square x minus 5, and cos square x plus sin square x is 1. So we can write it as 1 minus 5, that is minus 4. So minus 4 is our answer, that is option number 3rd.